Hello, Internet. My name is Nia. I am a geek. I go by the online moniker of Tortsinia, Tortsy for short. I just figured I would try and get this YouTube page up and running, tell you guys all who I am, what I like to do, and let you know what you can expect from this YouTube video page in the future. I like to play video games, ODST kind of stuff, Halo. I own currently 14 console systems, tons of anime, really a lot of books that are spin-offs of certain video games, tons of books in general. I started on my little nerding road when I was 6 years old. My grandmother had a Nintendo and my other grandmother had a Sega Genesis. And I remember going to my Grandma Rachel's house all the time and playing the game Super Mario Brothers, which, starts off a lot of people. Surprisingly, however, I was never really a Nintendo fangirl, but I begged my mother. I remember begging my mother on my 10th birthday how I wanted a Super Nintendo. So she finally got me one, and that kind of cemented me for it. I never was the same again. I was always a geek. So after that, I started to play a lot of games, but really kind of just set me forth in my further gaming road when I was a teenager was when I bought my own, when I won a PlayStation from GameStop, I believe. I might be wrong. I can't remember. I just remember entering a competition for a new next generation console that was getting ready to come out, and it was going to be like the hype. And my mom entered it because obviously I wasn't 18. And she came home one day and we had won, and I was so excited. And what was amazing about this was that was when games actually came with the little demo discs or a game in itself. And I remember begging my older cousin for any single game that he could possibly have, just saying, hey, please, 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 I have this system. I play Spyro on it all the time. If you have any games, that's what I want for my birthday, is video games. So my first game for that was Resident Evil 2, of all things, and it scared the fuck out of me. Ooh. It scared me a lot. The fact that up always meant up drove me nuts. I would die every 10 seconds when you're in the alleyway and the 4 zombies come after you, and poor Claire would explode in a flurry on the screen while doing that slightly sexual noise. And I just remember it would terrify me. So finally, I got a few more games. I remember I got a Nintendo 64 at that time as well. And I remember Crash Bandicoot was the big thing back then. But that's kind of me and my backstory. I now have all 3 next generation systems, including the portable ones except for the 3DS. I have a PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, the 250 gig slim version. I also have a Nintendo Wii. I have the red Mario edition. That's the only reason why I ended up getting the Wii. I finally caved to that and Kirby's Epic Yarn. Great game. Go to play it if you haven't. You go play it. But that's me. So what this show is going to be about will obviously be dorky, nerdy things along the sort of anime, manga, video games, the geek culture and lifestyle in general. That's what I do with my life. That's what I like to talk about. So that's what you can expect in the future. A few more things about me is that I'm a big fan of RPGs and first-person shooters. I'm talking about like the Japanese RPGs, not the Western RPGs. My favorite Western RPGs would be Dragon Age and BioWare. Anything by BioWare, I mean, like Mass Effect. Those are all amazing. I can't really get into the Bethesda RPGs. They kind of piss me off. I put them in, I play for an hour, I get nothing done because I get distracted, and I go off and kill a bunch of fire ants in the middle of the desert. And so I've had Fallout 3, the Game of the Year edition, and Fallout New Vegas. And I've maybe put in 20 hours killing things doing no storyline. So that's kind of why I don't like those. I like a little bit of a, yes, you can do these side quests, but here's point A, here's point B, and it's fairly simple to get from point A to point B. The Fallout series is always too much. I end up going halfway across the world to Timbuktu land, and I come back, and I get lost. I forget what I was supposed to be doing. I know I'm kind of rambling on this one. It's really more just a pilot, just to see what you guys want to hear more about. I was going to talk about the PlayStation Network outage, and how that I don't really think that a lot of people are giving PlayStation the credit it's due for being a free system. For being free to play on, you know, the thing hasn't really gone down that often, and the fact that, you know, people are complaining 24/7 about the fact that it's been down for a week is kind of lame in my opinion, because it's a free service. You can always play offline. I mean, if you did play for a PSN Plus account, that does, you know, kind of suck. But what you really should be complaining about isn't the fact that it's down, but the fact that your personal information may now be in the hands of a hacker, which would really suck, because that's all your credit card information. They can steal your identity from that. Because really it just takes one credit card. One credit card, your real name, which you have on your PlayStation Network account. So, go Sony! Even getting the local news station involved. I had my parents calling me up and asking me if I actually had my credit card information stolen, and I was just like, prepaid cards, that's the way to go. But, the other thing I was going to ask all of you guys about was, what do you think about the Nintendo Wii 2 rumors? Because I personally think if it supposedly had greater CPU power than the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, then we're going to be looking at a huge price jump from what Nintendo normally does, because Nintendo is usually the reasonably priced in terms of its competition. And really, if they're going to have a freaking controller that you can take with you on the go and play it, that sucker is going to be in like the $500 range. That's my opinion. I like to say that's my opinion a lot. But that's what I think about that. I really don't think it's going to work out like that. I think it's going to it's been done before, is my point. Sega Dreamcast. You had that controller that had the little removable memory card with the screen on it that you could play little mini games on the go. So everybody's acting like this is some big freaking whoop-de-doo-dah that Nintendo is coming out with. But really, it's already been done before by Sega Dreamcast. But nobody remembers the Sega Dreamcast because it came out and then the PlayStation killed it. Poor Sega Dreamcast. May you rest in peace. Anyway, so that's my opinion about the Wii. I really don't think it's going to be as great as everybody's saying. I know a lot of Nintendo fanboys are like, yeah! But personally, I'm like, can they just come out with a system that is on par visually with the other ones? I mean, motion controls was cool. Nintendo definitely did a good job there. But now with the Kinect out, and the Move, which is basically like the older brother / sister of the Wii, what are they going to come out with next that isn't going to be gimmicky? Because the 3DS is nifty, but the 3D feels kind of like a gimmick to me. I mean, I've played with it before. You have to hold it like 10 inches from your face for the two images to overlap together because it's like a lenticular lens, which is how it gets that 3D information. So I really am excited for what Nintendo is doing. Don't get me wrong. I just hope that it's not going to end up being something that's being blown out of proportion. Last but not least, I want to know your guys' opinion on what I should talk about in the future. If you guys ever have any rumors or anything, let me know in the comment feed down below. Also, I want to know what some of your guys' favorite games are, how you guys feel I should run this show. Should I talk about anime? Should I focus just on gaming? Because I have a lot of things that I do in my nerding lifestyle. So I want to know your opinion. I'm going to try to keep these guys short, 10 to 15 minutes apiece. They're really just going to be me rambling about nothing in particular, just rumors I hear. I also have one more rumor that I wanted to talk about that involved Sony. Sony is coming out with a PlayStation tablet, and what I think, personally, is that this is a really cool idea because the iPad is kind of moseying into that mobile gaming category there, because the iPad has great visuals. It's a very fun effect with the touchscreen, so they kind of really get into the Nintendo DS category with that. They also allow for it to be a portable device that you can do other things on. So it's nice because it's functional, and yet it is also gaming-wise, just like smartphones are. However, a larger screen is very nice. The other tablets in the world are cool, don't get me wrong. However, a lot of them aren't really competing with Apple iPads in terms of price and what they do. Like the Motorola Xoom is the only one that can really compete with it with its 2.0 gigahertz Honeycomb processor. However, there's not that much applications or games out in terms of it. So the PlayStation tablet should be interesting because PlayStation is formatting this thing called PlayStation Suite that they're going to hop on top of the Android operating system. And what's going to be in it, besides from your original PS1 classics, is they're going to tell the developers, okay, we have this suite here for you. It's going to be created for tablets and mobile phones that are running 2.3 Gingerbread. What can you do with this? What kind of games can you create from this operating system? Which should be interesting, because then the PlayStation Suite alongside a PlayStation tablet might help further that world of connectivity where you have your functional lifestyle, your business lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. Where if you were a student, you could still do your paperwork, your stuff, your schoolwork, your emailing your professors, taking control of your life, etc., etc., etc. But then when you want to be lame and you know, mess around on your lunch period, instead of taking a laptop with you, you have a nice nifty little tablet that will have just as good a graphics as something that you could expect on, you know, an original PlayStation or even a PlayStation 2. So, I want to know your guys' opinions on the PlayStation tablet. Do you guys think it'll be a little bit, is that being overrated as well? Or do you think it's really cool? Last but not least, the Sony NGP will be coming out this winter season, holiday season. I think that's a really cool, nifty idea in comparison to the 3DS. But I think its price point range, if it's above $300, what do you guys think of that? Do you think that as gaming is getting more and more interesting and technical with what it can do, like the 3DS dropping at $250, but being able to do that 3D lenticular lens, better graphics style, the NGP having a touchscreen on the front and the back, also the gyroscope, the 6-axis gyroscope inside of it. These are actual technical specifications that have been released. I'm not just saying rumors. What do you guys think about that? I mean, the NGP is probably going to drop somewhere at $300, maybe less. I'm hoping less. But if that's the case, then just because it's a portable system, do they expect us to pay more because of the technology inside of it? Which is honestly what they do expect. But how many people out there really think that they're going to go and pay like $325 for a portable system when they could just as easily get like a PlayStation 2 or something that might not be portable but could be just as enjoyable, you know, if you've never had a system before? I mean, there are going to be those fanboys, fangirls, like me, who probably go out and get it no matter how much it'll be. And then there's going to be the people who wait for it to drop in price. But do we think that video game companies are kind of getting a little ridiculous with how they're pricing things? I mean, Sony's always been notorious for that. PlayStation 3 dropped at, what, $600? So, do we think that hopefully they're going to learn from their mistakes of the past and they're going to decrease the price when they first release it? Or is it going to be some crazy-ass price that has, you know, little geeks and geekettes pissed off even more at Sony? I want to know what you guys think. Sorry about the 15 minutes of rambling, but thanks for listening if you've gone this far. If you have gone this far, let me know at the bottom. Once again, pilot episode, so please, 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 leave your messages in the comment section. Let me know how I did. If you flame me, that's okay, whatever. But thank you guys, and this is Nia, and I'm out. Oh, and one more thing. What should the name of my YouTube vlog be? Right now it's Confessions of an Achievement Whore, but this isn't really a confessional style, so let me know. Thanks.